Welcome here once again, everybody, to the third episode. I cannot believe we're already at the third episode. Time sure flies when you're a data nerd. So welcome once again to the Data Miners Union episode 3, and we've actually got a pretty special treat for you today. This was not planned at all. It actually came from somebody I was talking to and working with, and they had a problem but it intrigued me. So I decided to make an episode out of the solution that I ended up building. And this episode is on how to deal with SharePoint rich text format columns and fields when you're directly querying them with PowerQuery or PowerBI. Well, first and foremost, I'd like to get the thank yous out of the way. So Michael S., colleague of mine, I've worked with you a little bit, and you're an up-and-coming data miner. And it had to do with the fact that you were trying to connect to and query directly off of some SharePoint 2013 or SharePoint 2016 lists or libraries. And some of the data that you wanted to extract were comment fields, and those comment fields were formatted as rich text. Now, I don't know how many of you out there have had the honor or pleasure of trying to connect to a rich text field directly in SharePoint using PowerQuery or PowerBI, but they tend to come out a little ugly. Thank you once again, Michael S., and thanks for posing for this file photo, by the way. So I'll start off with a few slides just to show you around a little bit. Right at the top of this main slide, we've got a typical example of what a SharePoint rich text field could look like. You could have a header, you could have a hyperlink, you've got things shifted, tabs, dots, bullet points, a whole bunch of different things. Now, for those of you who have been working with SharePoint for a while, you know that when you go to export from a list or a library that has these fields into Excel, Excel simplifies that down if you do a direct export into Excel. So it'll take things like the bolds, the tabs, the numbers, and the indents, strip them all out and give you still quite a legible version of what that text is. So you can still read through it, which is nice. However, when you're directly connecting this field using PowerQuery or PowerBI, it doesn't come out as clean and easy to read. It will keep all of the hypertext tags, which is good if you want to re-render it using hypertext, but not if you want to just simply display that comment field in a report. What do we miss? I miss the simpler times. And that's Amish me in the middle there, standing in Walmart, figured I'd try on a hat, looked fairly Amish. But I do. I miss the simpler times, where we can directly export to Excel and get those fields, but I want all of the power that PowerQuery connectivity and PowerBI connectivity can give to me. But I'd like to be able to convert those hypertext marked up fields into the more legible view of what Excel can give. I've got great news for you all today. I've already built the M function for you. What I've done is I've put together a sample file with this function already built into it, and I've placed it onto GitHub. And the link to my GitHub account is going to be in the comments below. Feel free to check that out. And the first portion of my video here, I'll go over how to grab that function and just copy it over into whether you're starting in Excel or into PowerBI. So you can just copy the entire function over and just start using it. For those of you who are a little bit more technically inclined and you're kind of curious about how I went about building this function, I'll do that for the second portions of this video. So if you're only interested in using it, I'm going to be nice to you. We'll do that straight away. If you're willing to stick around and dive into some of the details, and I hope some of you are, then we will do that in the second half. So for those of you who are here just to use the function, I'm going to give you a quick demo of how to use the function and also how to copy the entire function over into other workbooks or over into Power BI directly from the sample I have on GitHub. So when you open up the sample on GitHub, you're going to have one tab here, and on the leftmost field here, I've got some screenshots of what those rich text fields in SharePoint look like, just to give you a feel for how crazy some of them could get. First one here, I've got Rocky embedded as an image with some words surrounding them. I've got multiple lines of text, and I've got some hyperlinks and tabs and numbers and the ones down below. In the second column, I have what an Excel extract, if you were to go to SharePoint and extract the file directly into Excel, what it simplifies those fields down to. So still quite readable. And of course, in the third column, we have an example of what a direct query out of SharePoint for a rich text field looks like. And it is nowhere near as clean. In fact, nearly unreadable. And this is where that M function comes in that you can go and grab off of GitHub. We're going to run that hypertext string through that function, and we're going to get out at the other side what Excel direct queries used to give us. How do we use it? Ordinarily, you're going to connect directly to SharePoint with PowerQuery or PowerBI. I'm not going to do that portion of the example here, mostly because the only SharePoint sites I have access to, they're company and they're proprietary, so I'm not going to show that in here. But these examples, we're just going to start off with pulling it from the table. For you, you'd start with connecting to SharePoint. I am. Do you want to come say hi?
Hi.
Hi, everybody. This is my daughter. You want to say hi?
Yeah.
Yeah? Make sure they can hear you.
Hi.
Hi. Yeah, and are you going to be a computer scientist when you grow up?
No.
What? What are you going to be when you grow up?
I don't know.
You don't know? Are you going to be a princess ballerina astronaut?
No.
That's what you used to want to be.
That doesn't exist.
Oh, well, that's too bad. Are you going to be a mathematician?
No.
A physicist like
No.
Daddy?
No.
No. A firefighter?
No.
Okay, fine. Can you hop away now so I can finish recording?
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Well, that was a delightful distraction for my daughter. Where were we? Right, we've just extracted the data, in your case from SharePoint, in my case from the Excel file, and we have the rich field showing up here. So how do you use this function that I've already built for you? It's really simple. All you have to do is go into the add column function, or add column field here, and invoke the custom function once you've copied it across. Select the function, in this case the rich text conversion function, and we're just going to point it at the field here with the SharePoint rich text, and select OK. And it'll run through, and if you take a look at the results that are coming out now, they actually come very, very close to matching what Excel's direct query was doing, which is excellent. Well, now I'm going to show you a really simple trick for taking this function, if you go and grab it off of GitHub, and being able to port it over wholesale into another Excel workbook. If you wanted to, you can start with the template I've already got stored up, or if you want to port the function over into PowerBI. So I'm going to do that. I'm actually going to, I don't know if you knew that you could do this, going to right click on the function over here, and we're going to copy the folder in which all of the content of that function is stored. Now we're going to come over into PowerBI because I'd like that function to be usable in here. Going to go edit the queries, and over here in the queries table area, we can just right click and paste, and it'll bring that entire function over, parameter and all, into the Power BI, where we can actually take it right away and apply it on another copy of the data I have. Again, go to add column. We're going to invoke the custom function. Select the custom function we're invoking, and let's grab from that rich text field we want to convert, and done. And it'll go ahead and run it right there. So with this function, you can bring it in, copy it straight across into whatever workbook or Power BI that you're working with, and just call it and point it at any of the rich text fields you want, and it'll go and extract and simplify them down so that they're more human readable. Once again, I'll go ahead and store those up on GitHub, and I'll provide that link down below. You can go ahead and grab them. Thanks again for sticking around for the first part of this video. The second part, where we dive into a lot more detail, I decided was a little bit too long for one video, so I'm actually going to split that off into a second one. Hopefully people are going to stick around for that one. So thanks again. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. I'm a brand new channel, just kind of building it up, and I'm having lots of fun doing this, and I hope you're enjoying it too. Show me that you're enjoying it. Give me a like, maybe a subscribe. Feel free to leave comments below. I'd love to hear from you, especially if you can think of cool new tricks for me to try, something you've struggled with but haven't been able to figure out. I like those types of questions because it gives me something to figure out too. Or if you know of a better way to do anything that I've already shown you, I would love to hear it too, and I'll give you airtime. So thank you again, take care, and signing out from the Data Miners Union.